You know, there's been a lot of word going around with this Clemson Ohio State game. I think everyone's got this all wrong. And yes, you can quote me on it. I think all the analysis people, everyone who has put predictions on this game, well, the majority, no, all of them that I've seen on like SportsCenter and on ESPN, I think all of them are wrong. Nobody is looking at this logically. Everything coming up to this game, to me, other than Clemson University's experience in the playoffs, everything is in Ohio State's favor. Everything. There isn't a single thing other than experience that Clemson has over Ohio State.
Welcome to the Silver Spaceship in the Arizona Desert, the College Football Playoff semifinal at the PlayStation Fiesta Bowl. The Clemson Tigers, champions of the ACC, the Ohio State Buckeyes, champions of the Big Ten. Fields again, looking to throw, whips the ball up, leaping catch, what a game by Wilson, down inside the 10. Has been solid this year. This is near his career long with 51 from 49, slid wide right. Dobbins in the clear. Off to the races. Can they run it down? They cannot. Touchdown, Ohio State. 68-yard lightning strike by the Buckeyes. They're expecting an interior run. Instead, it's Dobbins around the corner and into the secondary. Off and running again. Dobbins finally tripped up inside the 10 by Tanner. The second time tonight, they got close and had to settle for 33, dead center. And the kick is perfect. Pitch to ETN. Can he get the edge? No, he's turned back, but does well and scores standing up. That was all Travis Etienne on his own. Lawrence took a beat downfield. Had a lot of room. And breaks a tackle. And it's still running. Lawrence in a foot race. Will they catch him? Touchdown Tigers! Wow! A game-changing play. 60. Well, let him look back and try for Etienne. He's at the top. Etienne in the secondary. To the end zone. Tigers take the lead. And 53 yards.
ETN, they can't get him out running the ball, so they try to get him in the passing game.
It's picked up and Fields delivers. Intercepted. Simmons. Dancing down the sidelines. Made the key fit. And on fourth down, Fields again. Tries to make the defense. Goes in zone. Touchdown. Oh, nothing. And OSU reclaims the lead. French field goal range. And Lawrence. Thought run. Dumps it over the middle. ETN in space. ETN. Turn. Rings. Touchdown Tigers. A championship drive for the defending champs.
He's been running, and what does that do to the linebacker?
Takes the and the Tigers are not going to be dethroned tonight. They'll punch their ticket to New Orleans. Olave fell down. It was easy for Turner.
I think Olave miscommunicated with Fields. He ended up coming off of his route because it took so long for Fields to eventually give him a chance to throw the football. He's going to come from the outside and work to the...
And that's the look of absolute regret. Wow. What a game. What's going on, guys? My name is Blocked Boss, and today I'm going to explain what in the heck just happened. Clemson pulling off the win. Wow. In Phoenix. Ridiculous. It was awesome to see Clemson win. That was an incredible game. Both teams, they were fighting to the death, really. Lots of questionable injuries, and holy crap, there's so many injury timeouts. It was insane. But today, if you guys didn't see my video that I posted before the game yesterday, kind of want to explain a couple things on why they happened and what really did happen. So we had, by the time I had finished editing the video, I had actually gone to a restaurant to watch this game. And by the time I was there, it was 16-0. So I was thinking, well, it was 16-0 Ohio State, right? And at that point, I was like, okay, I think things are going to go the way I thought they were going to go. It was going to be a 2-possession game. You know, things weren't going to be looking too crazy for Clemson, but by golly, they came back and they actually won the game. I have no idea how that even happens. You have a 16-point lead, 8 minutes going into the half, and you let Clemson score twice to make it a 2-point game before the half. And on top of that, you let Clemson score right before the end of the quarter just for them to get the ball the next half. It's like, how else could you have ruined your chances? You have arguably one of the best defenses in the nation, in the NCAA, and you let Clemson football score 2 touchdowns and then another touchdown after the half. You threw away the game. How do you do that? Yesterday when I made my predictions, I didn't think that the Clemson offense would step up against this Ohio State defense. But man, I underestimated the Clemson offense, and holy crap, did they prove me wrong. They completely proved me wrong. They struggled a lot in the first half, in the first quarter, and then they came back, had a couple breakaways. I mean, to be completely fair though, the Ohio State defense didn't do that incredibly bad. The only reason why Clemson scored, especially their 2 first touchdowns, was off of penalties. And the touchdown after the half, they scored because of a roughing the kicker. And I just don't like that penalty. Because when you're running full speed at the kicker like that, you're not really... You're vulnerable to injury if you make your body stop yourself that quick. It's just, I don't know. That's a whole different story. But Clemson definitely Clemson was very fortunate with the amount of penalties that was thrown last night. It was kind of, in some parts I thought it was pretty pathetic, especially in this one wasn't even a call, a penalty, but this was a reversed call that I don't even think was supposed to be reversed. This fumble, that shouldn't have been reversed. He had clear possession and there was a couple camera angles that proved that he had full control and he had full possession of the football. I think that's just ridiculous. And that was the game. I mean, that would have been the difference maker in that game because it was a 1-possession game. It was a 6-point game by the end of the day. And those 6 points that the referees took away from the Ohio State team, that was the difference maker in the game. Do I think that the referees and that the calls affected the games overall? Yes, I do think that. I do think some of the calls did play a role in this game, and it really definitely did help Clemson come back in the game, especially in the first quarter or in the first half. I definitely think that had a huge boost in them even coming back, because without penalties, they wouldn't have scored more than 20 points. It just wouldn't have happened. That's just not. I mean, literally every single time Clemson had scored, there was a 4th down or a 3rd down penalty that was an automatic first down, or it was enough yards to where it would give them a first down. And then they would have a lucky breakaway. Like Trevor Lawrence ran like 60 yards on one of the breakaways. Like that just never happens. That just never happens. It was a very fortunate, a very lucky situation for Clemson. But shoot, they came back 16-0 first half. Excellent playmaking, excellent play calling. I handed down to Clemson. They stepped up and they came back and won that game. I'm definitely going to hear it. Yes, I completely underestimated the Clemson football. I didn't think that they were going to be very successful in the run game, but they did, they did okay. It wasn't really a running game anyways. It was a really pass efficient game, like on both sides of the ball. It was a pretty pass. There was a lot more passing than there was a running on for both teams last night. So it was an excellent game to watch. I really enjoyed watching it. Unfortunately, my first analysis wasn't completely right, but overall, I did have a couple points that was kind of right, but it was kind of, a little bit edgy. I did predict that the Clemson football was not going to be effective on the run game. I predicted that it was going to be a pass game. And my prediction on the score was actually pretty decently close. I said it was going to be an 8-point game. It ended up being a 6-point game. Of course, it was flip-flopped, but yeah, pretty interesting game. It was awesome to watch. Obviously, it didn't really affect me either way. So it really didn't matter to me. But it was really fun to make an analysis and kind of see and kind of predict what was going to happen. And, I didn't get all of my points, but I got the majority of my points. And, but yeah, terrible game for Ohio State. Terrible playmaking, terrible play choice. And, sometimes the bigger plays go and sometimes they don't. And it just happened to be for Ohio State that just didn't happen last night. And fortunately for Clemson, everything went right after the first quarter. It literally everything went right for them. They got a fumble recovery missed call. They had a couple interceptions. But yeah, they had a good fortunate game with the calls on the field, and they had a good playmaking. They had pretty good playmaking other than that. But good win for Clemson. And I'll probably make a analysis on the LSU Clemson game. Because this next analysis will be interesting because Clemson showed that they can play the game. And honestly, it'll be interesting to see what people think is going to happen in this next game versus what I think. And because I think I'm going to do an analysis on this because this was pretty fun. But anyways, if you did enjoy this video, leave a like. You don't really have to because my analysis wasn't very good. Wasn't the best, I should say. But thanks for watching. And we'll see you in the next video. See you later.